Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Federico Talks Watches. Today, I'm going to give you 5 quick ways to tell if your watch needs service. But of course, before we get started, customary wristwatch check. Today, I'm wearing the Rolex 16750 GMT Pepsi. I love it, one of my more recent acquisitions. I've actually been wearing this quite a bit. I've been traveling. But yeah, loving every minute of it. And of course, guys, go check out delraywatch.com. Bunch of new watches in stock. We just got in a Box and Papers Planet Ocean 45mm with the new movement, a Nomos Club Datum, as well as other goodies at delraywatch.com. Link in the description below. Actually, killer deal on an unworn Moser. If you guys are Moser fans like I am, once again, delraywatch.com, under $10,000, solid gold, can't be missed. So yeah, guys, watches and service. Now, a lot of people say the average service interval is 4 to 5 years. Some people say a little bit more. The truth is, I've seen watches go 20 years without service, and I've seen watches need service in 2 years. It's really hard to tell. However, the best way to do it is to kind of bring it to an authorized dealer, and put it on the time grapher. That way you can read the amplitude, the beat error, and the seconds per day, and you can tell if a watch needs service. However, not everybody is close to an authorized dealer. Not everybody owns a time grapher. So I've come up with 5 simple signs that could mean your watch may need service. All right, let's get right into it. I'm just looking at my list here. The first one, fairly obvious, so let's get it right out of the way. If it loses time. Now, guys, a watch running slow is a higher indication of needing service than a watch running fast. Running slow could mean there's friction, oils are dried up, it's not quite keeping time. A watch could still need service if it's running quickly, but slow is usually a bigger indicator. Second is if, when manually winding your watch, particularly with automatic watches, it winds rough. Now, yes, some movements like the ETA 2824 and the Valjoux 7750 wind a little rougher than most, but you've owned the watch for a while. If you noticed it winds significantly harder or rougher, means it could need service. The reversing wheels may need lubrication or may need a replacement, and overall friction. You're going to see a continuing pattern here. Friction is bad for watches. So a rough wind or a hard wind, good indication a service is necessary. Third is one mainly, or actually not mainly, but just for chronographs. When you start and stop your chronograph, particularly the reset button, does the pusher stick? Now, what I mean here is you press the reset button and it doesn't pop out right away, but it might take 7 or 8 seconds for it slowly to creep out. That is a very good indication that you have some congealed or dried oil, or maybe the spring needs a tune, but that was a great indicator both on my Tourneau with the Valjoux 7751, which I no longer have in my collection, but I did have serviced, and my Omega Speedmaster. I noticed that in chronographs, usually when the reset pusher sticks, it's usually time for a tune-up. And at the very least, if it doesn't need an overhaul, get the pusher fixed. Fourth, and this one is pretty easy as well, dirty open casebacks. If you have a bigger watch, like a Panerai and an IWC, and you turn it over and you have an open caseback, and you might see some brown specks in there, which could be metal shavings, it could be congealed oil, something we call micropollution. If you can see that the movement is physically dirty, it's probably a good time to get it overhauled. Now, those metal shavings, an IWC, it's notorious for causing metal shavings in the automatic winding system. My Panerai 111, for example, has a lot of congealed oil that I can physically see through the caseback. This doesn't mean your watch is breaking, even with the metal shavings. It just means it's time for a service. A couple gears may need to be replaced. It's totally normal. Now, while this might not be the best indicator for service, because it's not an objective measurement. It's subjective, how dirty you think the movement is. It's still a way you can tell if you're coming up close to needing a watchmaker. Fifth, and probably the best way to tell, lower power reserve. If your watch is rated to run at 40 hours, but now is only running at 33, could be time for an overhaul. Usually it means your watch is running at lower amplitude, there's friction, and the mainspring doesn't have enough power to power it for the full 40 hours. Now, guys, remember there is usually plus minus 10% for the power reserve. So if it's rated at 40 hours, it could run anywhere between 36 to 44, but anything under that 10% of the rating, usually an excellent indication for a service. Either you need a new mainspring or there's simply too much friction and you're running with low amplitude. So yeah, guys, 5 quick, easy steps you can use to tell if your watch may need service. As I said, this is nowhere near as good as bringing it to an authorized dealer or checking it on a time grapher. But, for the simple watch collector, the guy that doesn't want to have too many tchotchkes, or the guy that simply does not live close to a watchmaker, these are good indicating factors to tell that it may be time to take your beloved timepiece in. Anyway, guys, I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help. And don't forget to subscribe. Guys, thank you so much, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.